guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a little baby wearing yoga flow for those fussy days where bub just won't let you put them down. So I had fully intended to plan some fertility flows today and some early postnatal core stuff, but little man doesn't want to be away from me, so we're just going to roll with what's going to suit him today. So if you are brand new here, welcome. My name is Bettina Ray. I'm a yoga teacher. I specialize in yoga for fertility and pregnancy and early motherhood. I would love if you would hit subscribe so you get notified when I publish the next video. A lot of today's yoga class is going to involve this rocking and rolling. This little man just doesn't want to shut those eyes. So if that's you, if you've got a bub in arms, or whether you've got a sling or a carrier or a wrap, and you want to just feel like, you know, you've done something today rather than just this all day. So before we get started, I just wanted to talk to you about the type of carrier that you may want to use. So this is just a ring sling. I'll link below or above to my website where you can find some instructions to make one. I actually made this one. There are lots of brands out there. These are great. I can obviously do no hands. I can't actually lift this arm up too high though, because it kind of changes his position. You may also like to use a structured carrier. I do like to use those a little bit later on when bub's a little bit bigger, but when they're tiny, I like them really quite nice and close, or you can use those wrap ones as well. Most importantly is that you can still kiss their head. They're quite well supported to you. And obviously you want to be careful of your core at this time, because if you've got a newborn, chances are your core is not the strongest either. So you really want to make sure that you, one, have been checked by your doctor first before you do anything, and that you engage the core and pelvic floor before you do anything today. And make sure if anything doesn't feel comfortable that you completely skip it. Always listen to your body. It knows best, not me. So feel free to skip anything that doesn't feel right to you. So these are going to be just some quick little yoga poses that you can do while you've got bub in the sling, so that you can get a little bit of movement into your day, even if you have a super fussy, won't let you put him down baby like I do. So let's get onto the mat. So to start with, we're just going to take the legs wide. I'm going to come down into a goddess squat. So you turn the toes out, bring the hands onto the thighs, and just sit as low as you can into those legs. So this is the perfect pose to engage that pelvic floor, because it's all open. So you really need to engage those muscles, lift them in and up, engage the core, and just gently tuck the tailbone under. So you can hold bub if that feels better. If you do have a bit of a fussy bub and they're awake, mine's gone to sleep now, you could rock from side to side. But if you're able to just stay here, stay and breathe. I want you to breathe into that low belly and exhale, slowly soften. So the legs are going to start talking to you pretty quickly. This is quite a strong pose. See if you can just stay and hold. And then inhale, straighten the legs up. We're going to come all the way down to one side. So support yourself to come down with the hand and just draw the toes of that right leg back towards you. So getting a really beautiful hamstring stretch over this side. And then inhale all the way over to the other. So whenever I'm moving in a baby wearing practice, I like to hold their head just for extra support, especially when you've got someone so little with you. I'm hoping that the audio is okay for this video. His head is very close to my little microphone here. Forgive me if there's a few little staticky noises. It's my little friend here. And then inhale, coming all the way back up, and then stepping the feet in. So I just want you to bring the feet together. So toes of the feet together, little gap in the heels. And then I just want you to take a slight bend through the knees. So we're coming to chair pose, little tuck through the tailbone. Again, engaging the core and the pelvic floor. So fairly strong leg work today. Find the breath if you want to. You can add the arms as well, make it a little bit more intense. Otherwise, just see if you can soften the upper part of the body. And breathe into the lower part of the body that's working hard. If you want, you can come up onto the toes, come a little bit lower, challenge those legs to work a bit harder. And slowly come all the way up. We're going to come into a warrior one now. So step the legs wide. So the back heel anchors down. You want your hips hip distance apart or a little bit wider so that you've got the space to face them forward. And I want you to inhale, straighten the front leg up, and then exhale, bend into that front knee, really pressing down into that back heel. If your hips aren't comfortable, you can turn it into a lunge and pick that back heel up. So challenge the body, see how low you can come in that front knee. And then inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to rise. Let's open it out, warrior two. So you're going to adjust that back foot. So now the feet are in line and stretch the arms out. Obviously my front arm can't really do too much. I'm just going to stretch the back arm out. This time our hips are open, directing that front knee towards the front toe. Soften the shoulders down. If you want to work a little bit harder, you can use that breath again. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale and exhale. So you might notice you can hear my exhale. It's called Ujjayi breath. So we're just breathing in and out through the nose and kind of constricting the back of the throat, like you're going, but with the mouth closed. And it's just to focus the mind. So I find when I'm feeling stressed with Bub and he's not settling, Ujjayi breath is a great practice to come back to. I kind of just remind myself to breathe and I focus on that instead of like, go the F to sleep. But that's just me. All right, straighten that front leg up now. Bring the hand down. We're just going to tip a little bit. So a little bit into triangle. Making sure Bub is still comfortable. Keep breathing here. And then we're going to change sides. So turning all the way around, coming to our warrior two on this side. Warrior one rather. Inhale, coming up, straightening that front leg, turning the hips to the front, pressing down into that back heel and then exhaling low. Inhale up. Exhale, coming lower. Inhale up. And exhale lower. And then straightening that front leg up, moving into our warrior two. So again, there's a lot of opening here. So you will probably need to engage that pelvic floor and be aware of that engagement. I noticed when I did this one in the first couple of weeks after having Luca, I was like, whoo, need to really focus on that pelvic floor. But as you get stronger, it will kind of be an automatic thing that you just engage in this pose. So again, you can inhale up, exhale down. You may want to add the front arm this time, whichever arm you've got free. Maybe you've got both if you've got a structured carrier. Exhale as you come down. Inhale up and exhale down. Just holding here, breathing. So much for a fussy baby. Now that he's in this, he's like, sweet, you can do whatever you like now. And then straighten that front leg and just tipping down into your triangle. So again, I like to support his head. Just finding some stretch through those legs. The core is engaged here. The side of my body is really lifting up and out. So I'm not kind of flopping down. My upper body is really quite strong here, gripping into the floor with my feet. And then coming all the way back up, walking those feet back in. We're going to come low now into a low squat. So bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance and you're bringing yourself all the way down. If you're not comfortable in this low squat, you can come onto a stack of books or a yoga block or even a bolster if you have one. It doesn't matter if the heels touch or don't touch. Mine don't touch at this point, but that's okay. You might want to bring the hands to heart. You might find this is challenging your balance a little. My guess is it's probably challenging that pelvic floor a fair bit. So engage, lift it in and up. Draw the core in towards the spine. See if you can lift the chest as well. And then inhale, take one arm open, find a little bit of a twist here. Coming back, and see if you can do it on the opposite side, even just opening the shoulder a little if you can't extend the arm like I can't with this wrap. And then bring the hands down so that you can bring the feet down to the mat and just come into a kneel. Come into a comfortable seat here. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Just rest the palms on the lap. Close the eyes down. Breathing deeply into that belly. And just taking a moment here. I often find whenever Bub falls asleep, I'm like, go, go, go. I've got like this big list of things I want to do. And sometimes it's really important just to kind of stop and go, isn't this a nice moment? Because before you know it, they wake up again, especially if you've got a cat napper like mine who doesn't sleep much longer than 40 minutes. And there's kind of that adrenaline rush as soon as you get them to sleep that you just rush through that time, trying to get all those things done that you haven't been able to. I think it's really nice to just take a moment, maybe even cuddle that beautiful baby, gazing down at them if you like, just enjoying this break, this moment where nothing needs to happen. There's nothing you need to do. Perhaps noticing the sounds that you can hear around you. Maybe tuning into what's going on in your house or your neighborhood. Maybe internally as well, what's going on for you inside. So we're going to finish our little break here with one big inhale together, inhaling in and sighing out the mouth. And then coming up onto the knees and bringing the left foot forward so we can come into a kneeling lunge. So just bringing the weight forward into that front foot. So you should find there's a fair bit of space opening through that right hip. Just leaning the weight forward. Again, it's important to keep the core and the pelvic floor engaged here. Remember, especially if you're feeding, you've still got relaxin moving through the body, but if you've just had a baby, everything's still loose and quite open, and we want to focus on strengthening as well as stretching. So engage pelvic floor and core, and then gently lean into the stretch. And then moving the weight into that back knee, taking a seat down towards the heel so that you can draw the toes of the front foot back towards you. Inhale, sitting tall through the spine, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, and then just gently leaning forward. Again, always breathing deeply. I think that's one of the best things that yoga taught me about being a mum, is that breath. I always come back to that when my 6-year-old is being difficult, when my 3-year-old is chucking a tantrum, when my baby won't sleep. It's always the breath. That's what I always come back to. All right, coming forward again, bringing the weight back up, changing sides, coming into that kneeling lunge on the opposite side. Just leaning forward. So again, engaging core and pelvic floor, supporting that pelvis. See if you can soften the shoulders down. You're probably holding a fair bit of weight there, not just physical weight, but also emotional, mental, perhaps spiritual as well. If this is your first bub, it's a huge transition. Probably everything has changed. Taking a seat back. And I found for me, it was like my whole person changed. I became a totally new person. Actually, each baby that happened, it wasn't just the first. You kind of evolve as a mother each time. So see if you can lengthen the spine, gently leaning forward, softening through the shoulders, letting whatever is no longer serving you from that tension in the shoulders, letting it go. Maybe it's letting go of the need or the idea to be the perfect mother. You don't need that anymore. There is no perfect mother. Stop trying to be her. And then slowly coming back up. So you might like to finish your little practice now with a meditation. So meditation is the perfect yoga practice for you when you have a bub, because you can do it whether you're breastfeeding, you can do it whether they're in the carrier, whether you're lying down in bed. Sometimes when I've just got a fussy baby and I'm constantly rocking them and I'm like, oh, when will they sleep? I just get my phone, plug into a guided meditation, and it's just kind of like, feels like you've gotten something for yourself amongst the chaos of the day. So I thoroughly encourage you now to find yourself a meditation. So I have some that you can access for free on the Insight app. So I'll link above and below for you to find that one. Or you can check out the meditations that I've got in my online yoga circle. So you can start a free 30-day trial there, and there's lots of yoga classes, baby wearing, early postnatal recovery, fertility and pregnancy as well, if that's the stage of motherhood that you're at. So thank you again for joining us for this class. So I'm going to attempt now to put little man down and get him to sleep, hopefully without me. If you haven't already, I would really love if you would hit subscribe. It really helps my channel and helps me to continue making these videos for you. And if you liked this video, I would love if you would give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment to say hi, because I love hearing who's practicing alongside us. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. If you have any requests for videos that you would like to see, so maybe, maybe conditions or any issues in your body that are worrying you and you would like a yoga class to suit that, whether that's for fertility, pregnancy, or early motherhood, leave me a comment below and I will make a video just for you. All right, that's it from us. Ready? Namaste.